Hey, what's up, guys? This is David Chase Taylor of 911truther.org. Today is March 25th of 2026. So, based on breaking news and events, it appears that CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland is going to stage a Trump dissolution of presidency event on the date of March 26th of 2026, specifically to spawn the presidency of one J.D. Vance. In other words, something tragic is about to befall a sitting U.S. president on the date of March 26th, and it is not going to be an organic event. Let's just put it that way. So before I get into the scenarios which are blinking red, I just want to highlight the numerology. So firstly, the number 26 equates to the letter Z, which is an acronym for Zionism, and that is the political motivation behind this impending, what is basically going to be an assassination of a sitting U.S. president on the date of March 26, for all intents and purposes. And so that is the political motivation. This notion is corroborated by the numerology because the date of March 26 marks exactly 29,140 days since Donald J. Trump became president, was born in Queens, New York, back on June 14th of 1946. So in this particular number, we have 29140. So we have the number 24, which equates to the letter X, which is known internationally as the symbol of death. And then we have the number 29, which equates we have the number 91, and that's or 19, which equates to the letter S in the English alphabet. So that's S. So we have S and X, which is 6. That's indicative of the 6-pointed star found in the Star of David, which is found on the flag of Israel, who stands to benefit if Trump is assassinated. And then, of course, symbolically, this is a little bit next level, but the 29, the 2 is a Z, and the 9 is an I in the English alphabet and symbolically, so that's Z. And then in the Roman score, the number 14 is the letter N, which is or in the English alphabet. So this is Zion, and so that's 6 and Zion. And so this number suggests that Trump will be double-crossed on this particular date and assassinated in some form or fashion. So so this is going to be a multifaceted operation to remove Trump from office. It's going to be 4 points that I've identified that are going to transpire throughout the day. So in the early morning, they're going to try to suicide Trump, likely under the guise of being rejected by Iran after presenting his 15-point peace plan. Being betrayed by Director of National Intelligence Tulsi Gabbard, who basically said that Iran was not a threat. The malfeasance regarding the ongoing Iran war or appearance thereof. The fact that none of our allies in NATO or elsewhere have helped us, especially with the Strait of Hormuz, and continuing to allow shipping to pass through unabated. The 34% approval rating by the American public, the lowest in both Trump administrations. And lastly, not being able to gain a ceasefire or a peace agreement with Iran. So those are the most likely scenarios. Obviously, there's more that they could just make up, but those are the more. So suicide assassination is plan A. Plan B is an arrest. So they have desperately tried to frame Trump for the Epstein files. That so far has not worked, thanks to yours truly. The mastermind of this operation on the ground was evidently the former FBI official Mueller, who just was assassinated just 6 days ago on the 20th. Robert Mueller, the former head of the FBI, he's the one that authored the Mueller report linking Russia to Trump, and so he was their guy. And so they have thus far been unable to link Trump to Russia, and they were going to basically, in my opinion, tried to tie the Epstein thing in with Russia. And when that failed, they killed him. But that you're not supposed to know that. So in this particular scenario, they have created a new narrative that was spawned by the Washington Post this morning, that Donald J. Trump lost a classified map on Trump Force One back on January 13th of 2023, which was allegedly witnessed by Chief of Staff Susie Wiles. And then they created this narrative recently where U.S. Army General Antonio Aquino left a classified map on a train in Poland back on April 4th of 2024. And so what it appears that Donald J. Trump, who just had a phone call with Vladimir Putin on March 9th, discussing the Iran war, that they plan to arrest Trump for sharing classified information with Putin. Evidently, it's going to be a map, and it's likely going to be a map in respect to troop movement or weapons locations in Ukraine. So this is information that NATO has that was shared with Trump because Trump is a member, or the United States is a member of NATO, and then Trump subsequently shared this information with Putin, either digitally, orally, in person, because they met in Alaska last year. So this is how they plan to frame him. So it's suicide, assassination, arrest, and then number 3 is going to be a medical event, and number 4 is an assassination. So back on July 17th, Donald J. Trump was diagnosed with venous insufficiency, which is basically he's being targeted with an energy weapon. The only reason I know that is because I have firsthand experience with that, unfortunately. And so he has suffered swollen ankles, swollen hands, bruising on the hands, and then a rash on his neck. And so this is likely what's going to happen. We just had a mayor of a town, in Idaho that just died while giving a speech in front of a bunch of people. And of course, the CIA is desperately trying to assassinate Trump, likely to trigger World War III. So the assassin is likely going to be Russian, Iranian, or Chinese in nature. That being said, a trans shooter or some Black Lives Matter, LGBTQ, or somebody that's disenfranchised with what the military is doing. There's a million different scapegoats that are possible, but what we know is that Trump is going to be suicided, arrested, die of some sort of medical-related event, or be taken to the hospital, or he will be tortured and then killed in some ancient, esoteric, and ritualistic Jewish blood sacrifice, or he's going to be killed. And so we have 2 events on the date of March 26, which are highly suspect. The first one is going to be at 11 a.m. Trump is going to hold his 11th cabinet meeting. And this is key because number 11, which is symbolically the Torah, and the Torah, the word terror comes from Torah. And the number 11 also equates to the letter K, which is an acronym for kill. And so I believe that Donald J. Trump will die during this meeting, or he will suffer some sort of cardiac arrest, brain aneurysm, stroke, some sort of medical-related event during this cabinet meeting when he's in front of all of his people. And we just had Susie Wiles, was just targeted with an energy weapon. She just suffered breast cancer. And so the CIA, what they do, they always do these in clusters. And so I believe that this is the meeting where Donald J. Trump is going to hit his head on the desk after being knocked out with some sort of energy weapon. And then he'll be taken to Walter Reed Military Medical Center, where they will perform a ritualistic blood sacrifice of the president. If Trump makes it through the meeting unscathed, the CIA has a secondary event lined up for Trump. And of course, it is the Greek independence celebration going to be held in the East Room of the White House. Now, we have to remember that the flag of Switzerland has a Greek cross. And if you look at the flag of Greece, it has a mini flag of Switzerland in the right-hand corner. And this is because of the link between the Greco-Roman Empire and Switzerland, which is home to the CIA, which is run by the powers that be. Let's just put it that way. Won't get into it in this video, but this is the cross is also a dagger, and so I believe that Trump will be assassinated. Um, I believe a medical event is scheduled for the 10 o'clock a.m. cabinet meeting, as previously mentioned, and then an assassination event, Greek style, is slated to transpire during the Greek independence celebration in the East Room of the White House. Excuse me. And that is going to be in the, let me give you the exact time. So that is going to be at 4 o'clock p.m. Donald J. Trump is slated to give a speech in the East Room of the White House during the Greek Independence Day celebration. And I believe that it was during this time that some sort of an assassination event, likely featuring one of the guests, is going to strike Trump during this. This may be a broken beer bottle. This may be a fork. This may be a knife. This may be a gun. This may be a sword. This could be poison. This could be anything. So that's what's on tap for the date of March 26, Thursday, 2026. And obviously, if Trump is assassinated in any form or fashion, we know who's responsible for doing it. We don't know who they're going to scapegoat it onto, but we know it's going to be the Israeli Mossad. We have the first Jewish state of Switzerland, founded circa August 1st, 1309. And we're going to have the third state of a Jewish state called the State of Israel, which is founded May 14th of 48. And that is why both the Switzerland, her flag contains a dagger, which is the plus sign. And in Europe, when you die, they put this dagger next to you. It's really ominous. But anyways, and then we have Israel, which the actual shape of Israel, the country Israel, is a dagger or a shiv. And Shiva, that's where the word Shiv or Shiva comes from, to stab. And that is why there's a Shiva statue located outside of CERN, which is CIA headquarters at Geneva. And there is a massive statue to Shiva. So Switzerland is working in tandem to basically control the world. Switzerland is the intelligence apparatus with the banking apparatus. And then Israel is the muscle, so to speak, with the assassinations and with terror attacks and acts of war and so forth. So obviously, if Trump is offed in any form or fashion on the date of March 26, 2026, obviously know that it was planned, premeditated by CIA headquarters located beneath CERN at Lake Geneva in Switzerland, who have desperately been trying to assassinate the sitting U.S. president. And obviously, if that happens, I kindly ask that you download this video and share it with local, state, and federal law enforcement, military, and intelligence officials, as well as with local, national, and international media outlets. Peace.